Now, what was cool about teaching education and doing social media is that when I decided that I wanted to go to hair school, it now made the biggest difference that I can teach you guys how to look at film. You know, I think before they say like, look at the film, study the film. That's actually what we're gonna do today. So there are so many different things that make a video go viral, right? We don't even necessarily need to go viral. We just want to attract our clients, right? Ultimately, we want to be able to make a living for ourselves, for our families, and ideally just have people sit in our chair that we love, right? At the end of the day. So when we get caught up in this idea of Instagram and the numbers, we have to revert back to our why, okay? I implore you to figure out on paper what your why is. My why is that if it only takes, let's say, 20 minutes for me to make a video of a hair hack, and someone only has 3 minutes that day to look beautiful, and they watch my video, my job is done. That is my why. And anytime I get caught up in the numbers, of getting caught up in the idea of like I have to teach someone or do something online, I always think back to making somebody feel beautiful, even if they only took 20 minutes to make that video, okay? So can we all agree to do our why?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Now, if you guys were here yesterday, you saw a little bit of the things that I've worked with. These are a few of the celebrities, the publications that I was able to work with. Now, this is all cool, right? Great, but it is not a part of who I am. It's just because I stuck with my why of helping other people that I was given the opportunity to work with these people, right? Paris Hilton, I did her hair and makeup for almost 4 years. She's a fantastic person. She found me from Instagram. My very close friend who works with Nick Jonas very closely, he actually was the one that seen one of my posts about me doing a gentleman's makeup, and he's like, okay, I need her for one of my new shows. Now, as cool as this is, I want to bring you guys back to baby Olivia. I showed this video yesterday, but everyone has to see it, and you guys can enjoy it.
Hello there, everybody. I'm going to be doing some new tutorials on some makeup, and then sooner or later I'll be getting some on the hair. But I just wanted to show you first how I did this beautiful smoky eye. I used a lot of my Urban Decay products. I got this new palette called Naked. It is awesome. It comes.
Naked palette. All right. So this is where we go into renewing and reviewing our footage. Okay. The people who are here yesterday, what are some things you guys noticed about this? Like the lighting. Terrible lighting, right? Yellow lighting. What are some other things? Look at my like mannerisms. I'm talking like this. I'm very not sure of myself, right? I'm kind of low voice. I kind of have like a little bit of this too, right? Where you're talking like nasally up here with your voice, right? When you start getting on camera, you have to realize who that person is on the other side of the screen. You are not introduced to that person, right? You have to get used to the mannerisms, the way you speak, right? The way you move your hands. And also, ultimately, you have to fall in love with that person. But how do we do that? I always say the best and easiest way for you to be able to recognize that person is to get on your Instagram stories. Because what do you do when you leave it? You delete it and you do it again. You delete it and you do it again, right? By doing that, it allows you to have the best improv for studying who you are. And also, I feel like if you don't like it, it disappears in 24 hours. And I also think that that's actually the best way for you to test your content, right? If you're like, oh, I really want to start getting into more styling my own hair, or maybe like a few makeup tips, or maybe some skincare or nail tips, start introducing it to your audience via stories. Because you know what's going to happen? You're going to start getting feedback from there. And it's so funny, like, I don't even know how, like, my butt popped off this morning, but because I do hair extensions, I know how to sew it back on. And, like, people loved that, you know, it's just, like, so in the moment, so, like, funny, relatable, right? But it's like, you'd be so surprised the thing that people gave you the best feedback on. And for me, it's been my acne journey. Like, I have had some of the most cystic, craziest acne you've ever seen, and I've done all the lasers, all the skincare. Like, I feel amazing now, but I have brought people to journey because ultimately I was a makeup artist, right? And I had acne, and it was literally my Achilles heel for me because I was like, how can I have such bad acne and make other people feel beautiful when I myself don't feel beautiful? How can I get on camera and with this acne face, right? Like, how can I not be the pinnacle of what I think in my eyes? And that was the moment that I had to break it down and was like, everyone gets acne. Acne is actually what makes me beautiful. Like, my skin imperfection is what makes me human. And I had to, social media is so much more inner work than we give it credit for. And if you don't do the inner work, it doesn't even matter what I'm going to tell you in this class today. If you can't get over yourself first, you'll never do all these tips and tricks. So that's the foundation. We're building the house. Yesterday, we're building the house today. The foundation is to sit with yourself and go, why am I on this platform? Can I get over myself to actually make it happen? Who am I here for? Am I here for myself? Am I here to help other people look beautiful? Is that what you know? Right? Not only are we trying to help other people, but we're trying to maintain a family, right? For ourselves, for our own relationship, right? Or even our kids. Anyone have kids in here? Beautiful, right? We're creating a legend for our children, okay? So I have 2 stepboys, so I'm a bonus mom. I am married. My husband, Aaron, is amazing. So I know how it is. I remember back in the day I was doing weddings, and I sold my soul to doing weddings. I had 18 girls working for my company, and we did 400 weddings in 4 years. Imagine, right? Every weekend, sports, vacations, I gave it all away, right? But I woke up one morning, and I was like, I'm not happy. I'm like, this doesn't fill my cup anymore. I don't want to do this. And what ended up happening was I looked at my husband and I said to him, I go, hey, listen, starting today I'm quitting weddings. And I was making great money at the time. I go, I'm quitting weddings. And he goes, what? Why? Like, and I go, because I can't wake up like this anymore. I don't want to drive down to Miami and Fort Lauderdale. I go, I don't want to drive down to Miami. I don't want to drive up to West Palm. I'm sick of it. And also, considering with weddings, you get paid 50% the year before, right? And then you're talking to them all year long, right, in communications to just receive the money. Like if I was doing weddings nowadays, I'd do it totally different, right? But I said it's not working for anyone. I'm gonna pursue this ad program. You go, what? So keep in mind, I was an early adapter on Instagram. I go, I'm gonna spend those 3 days that I was doing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'm gonna go sit in my bathtub and I'm gonna film content. Basically, sit in the bathtub. I wish I had a video. Sit in my bathtub, I had a big old window. I could only film from like 10 o'clock to like 11:34 because that was when the sun was that good, right? I didn't let any objections come between me. Even in the salon that I worked at, it was not my brand at all, but I love the people that I worked with and I was just getting started. I used to take a chair and literally like put it in a corner and like do my little foil videos at the time, right? When I thought foil videos were smart, why are we making foil videos still for clients? We should be making transformations. So that's what we're actually going to be talking about today. How to actually create content. So I want you guys to take lots of pictures, lots of videos. Okay, I highly encourage it. And also the best compliment possible for me is if you teach what I taught you here today to someone else. Please, if you have knowledge, if you have education, please help the other people around you. Can we all agree? Say yes?
Yes.
So we're going to actually talk specifically about pinned content today and what that looks like, okay? So am I okay, or you guys want me to step back a little bit? Can you see? And if anyone else, there are a few sprinkles of seats over here as well. Or, I don't even care, you could come sit in the front if you'd like. So, pinned content, okay? So, pinned content is basically, it will live evergreen at the very top of your Instagram page, and that is what clients will see first. You got about 20 seconds to sell a person, whether you're going to be the salon that they come to or not. Salon owners, raise your hand. Stylists, salon owners, same. Nails, aesthetics, massage. Anyone else I'm missing? Business owners in general? Alright, perfect. Just so I have an idea of what the picture of her. She is actually the salon owner. This is a very good friend of mine, Rachel. She's a fantastic salon owner, and she's like taken all of my classes, and I was like, I need to use you as an example. So you see how it's a picture of her, okay? So in this video, she's actually giving a salon tour, okay? Which we'll go into in just a moment, all right? And then the next one would be how to book, okay? That is like one of the biggest things that I see when I'm auditing other people's Instagrams that is not available is how we even get an appointment. Walking them through it, which I'll show you guys today. So how do you pin something to the top? So if you see in the right photo, there's a circle. What you'll do is you'll just press on that image, and you'll pin it right to the top. It'll give you an option, okay? So now, how do we make content, right? Content can be so troublesome, and it's like, well, how do we edit it, and how do we get through the content? I'm actually going to turn down the lights for you guys for this next video, so we're gonna set them up real quick. If you guys want to record, I will go sit at the front because I'm gonna show some videos.
I think she was talking to us.
Is that better? It's a little moody. We're having a movie night. I'm a substitute.
I'm gonna go sit at the front. You want to stay here?
Okay. So Instagram has actually been really good about helping out creators online, especially when it comes to this new option. It's called Reel Templates. Has anyone played with the Reel Templates before? Okay, so what Reel Templates is, you're gonna go to the plus button on your profile, and you're gonna see a Reel option. And then from there, you're gonna see it says templates, okay? So what templates are, it's a designated amount of time for you to create content, okay? So let's say I was in the salon and I'm doing a transformation. You can literally do a before video, a during video, and 2 afters, okay? What a reel will do is it will allow you to implement in those without even having to edit, okay? So the next slide that I'm gonna show you guys is actually gonna be a video, so you might wanna record this, okay? I'm gonna play it, and then I'm gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna play it again, okay? I'm gonna pause this one from here. Okay, so now that you got that recording, just listen to me as we watch it together. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so these are different reel templates. Do you see at the bottom how it says 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, right? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my images, right? These are just some beautiful pictures of hair that I've done and some from online. And I'm literally just selecting them. It's gonna take that audio from that template and it's gonna create this video. So do you see how it does it? So do you see how it does it to the music, right? How long did that take me? No time, right? So now you can write in here, I love my job, in the text, right? So then at the bottom, you'll toggle between where you want your cover photo to be. So if you guys go off to the right where profile grid is, you can actually zoom in on your cover photos. I don't know if you know that or not. Yeah. So then just type in a keyword rich caption, which I'll tell you why in just a minute. And then also, you're gonna see this small toggle where it says trial reels at the bottom. We will also talk about trial reels today, okay? Okay, so a keyword-rich caption. So what that means is you want to make sure that you are letting not only the Instagram algorithm know, but also the clients know. So you're going to want to put in words like hairstylist in your caption. You're going to try to, you can even do this on ChatGPT, doesn't matter. You could even just figure out ways to say hairstylist, extension specialist, where your location is, what your hours of operation is, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you're giving the Instagram algorithm enough information to know where to place this video. So if someone's looking up hairstylist in Charlotte, it would know because you have it in your caption where it's supposed to go.
That's excluding like hashtags
In the actual caption, correct. So on the subject of hashtags, make sure you are following the CEO of Instagram because he will debunk so many things online for you. And he actually just said that hashtags are technically irrelevant in the moment, but they give context to what the client user is looking at, okay? So it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't create more searchability, it doesn't create more viralness, but it does give ultimately help for the person viewing it, okay? So, do we understand reel templates? How easy was that? Why are we overthinking our content? It's not that hard to just be like, I don't know what I'm gonna post today. And then you just take some pictures and you put up there and you find a template. Yes, love?
Can you go over how to zoom into the cover picture?
Yeah, I will replay that section. Yes. Okay. So you see how it says cover photo, and then you go over to profile grid, and just literally pinch. But also, I want to mention something here about your cover photo. You can actually you see how it says add from camera roll? You don't even have to use your video. You don't have to use your video as a cover photo. You can actually just upload an organic photo to be your cover photo as well. Okay? All right, so the next one that I'm going to show you guys would be your next pinned content. So this again will also be a video, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but then we'll explain afterwards. So you guys can record the next one, okay? So this is a salon tour video that you will pin to the top of your page. So you want to make a salon tour video. Here are a few important tips to think about before you get started. You're just going to want to go side by side, and you're actually going to be using your body as a tripod. So we showed you part one of the storyboard. Now the second part is to show the experience.
Sometimes clients get really confused, especially how to get to your location, whether that may be parking or even just where your actual suite or salon is located.
So I made that video from templates. So the whole idea of a salon tour video, right, or suite, or nail salon, whatever it may be, is that you are getting people into the idea of themselves walking into your space, okay? Because it feels like home when they show up. It's a more familiar atmosphere. But if you are saying something 5 times a day on how to park, or where to park, or how to get to your location, it should be a reel. It should be a video, and it should be pinned to the top, okay? I hate to say it, but nobody's looking at highlights anymore. It's not that it's not a prevalent thing, but pin posts have taken over for highlights, okay? So with this salon tour video, I said one thing. So I see a lot of people, when they're recording with one hand. You need to use 2 hands always to stabilize your body when you're filming, right? To give that smooth transition. People ask me all the time, they're like, are you using some sort of slider? And I go, no, I'm just stabilizing my body, right? And also because a lot of these iPhones, they're top heavy. So they go like this, right, when we're filming. And if anyone's ever creating content or like filming for me, I would tell them the same thing, 2 hands. Another thing that I like to do too is, I will tell them, if I'm having somebody like take pictures for me, I will make sure I'll be like, okay, I wanna stand right there. So make sure I'm standing right here in that frame, right? Because sometimes they'll do too much headspace or too little, right? Another thing too is, I like to add on captions to my video, so I wanna make sure that I either give myself enough headspace here or enough headspace down here, which we'll get to that in just a moment, okay? Salon tour video, yes? Cool, are you liking these ideas?
Yes.
Are you guys already learning a lot?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, this one now, right? We're gonna talk about remixing our content. Now, the ideas that I'm giving you is, yes, we can make salon tour videos, we can, create content from just pictures and templates and all that, but chances are you got some good stuff in your camera roll already. And what happens is, we think we need to keep creating content or filming more content to have things to post, as opposed to just taking what we had and remixing it. So what that means is taking this content. So this is a video that I had from a foiling video that I did for Joico, right? So I work with brands and I attract clients. I live in a prosumer space, just to give you an idea. But this video that I made, I'm not gonna show you it, because you're gonna tell me what I did, okay? What did I do? Yes, and? Added caption, yeah. What else? Call it out. It's something in the captions.
You don't do that anymore.
No, not yet. What's that?
You got them curious?
Yes, but just yell.
It's for other stylists.
Yes, well, that's a good point, and I have consumer ones too.
On like the loop, it said this works, and then when you loop it, it says don't use it anymore.
Yeah, but like, okay.
You're showing
So
your
one more time.
improvement,
If
like it
someone
went from
gets
this
it,
to this.
Was it about the
Anything to
price,
give away,
like the
go.
comb?
Long enough with the wording over it's making you pause it. It's making you have to read it the whole way.
I'm like, I gotta figure this out.
It's going word by word, so you have to
Thank
read
you.
it
Yes,
slowly
I'm
at a
gonna give
certain
you a hug
point.
later. Do you see how the text goes word by word, so you stay on the video the whole time? Exactly. So, this video was by design, okay? This was just supposed to be, by the way, anytime I use this comb in any of my videos, it always goes viral. It's a color track comb. I mean, I've in total, just like millions of views. So, number one, it's an eye-catching video, right? Let's just start from the top on what the content is. An eye-catching video, that's just a good quality video. The lighting is great, right? By the way, lighting is so important for your videos, especially if you want it to stand out, okay? So I have a mixture of natural lighting and then salon lighting in this one, okay? The font is, this works, I just don't do it anymore. Peak interest, what are they talking about? So now, when the caption comes up, because in the video, when you look at the caption, it's still looping in the background, which is 6 seconds, which creates re-watch rate. So it's not that this video got 100,000 views, it's that they watched it 10 times, right? Are we seeing where we're going with this? Okay. So then all of a sudden, I have a little bit of a trending audio, which also helps to bump it up. And then in my caption, it's keyword rich, so Instagram knows where to put it. So this one specifically, this works, I just don't use it anymore, is talking about using different volumes for hair. And why I don't use 40 volume anymore, which I don't, but, right? So it's something that piques their interest, but I make sure that in the caption, I add so much value. So I talk about why different developers peak at a certain point and why they can't take it fast out of the grass space because it's too accelerated. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what I'm talking about. I'm just saying I'm adding value. So I'm bringing in that hairstylist, right? So for the next one,
Will you just play that one more time?
yeah, this one, yep. And if you want to get really picky with it, and I'm going to go in between like social media 101, 202, 303. There's a little zoom in the beginning. If you know how to do that, you know how to do it. You know what I mean? So there's a little zoom in the beginning, which also creates intrigue. Okay? So that's another 303. So this one. Okay, same thing. Yes, I have the same font, right? Because I'm creating a brand. Okay? So now what I'm doing is this is just to be expected, right? So not wrong, just not my standard. Alright? So don't get into the words yet, because we're gonna talk about that in just a moment. Okay? I saw this quote. In order to be popular, you have to be bold. And I was like, ooh. I'm like, and I am not polarizing at all. I'm like the furthest thing from being like polarizing, right? And also, I don't care to be popular. But I do want my content to do good. And I'm like, okay, how can I take something that probably is true, and how can I make it my own? So this is actually a ChatGPT prompt that I put in, and it says, give me 20 short, eye-catching statements that I can use as Instagram quotes, Reels, hooks, carousel covers to attract clients in the salon. Write them in a perspective of a luxury hairstylist who is warm with Okay? That's how I was getting those bold statements to be able to just make remix content through chat. I will send you guys this prompt, and I will have that for later, okay? So, but when I'm thinking about it like this, I'm like, okay, I have this stuff in my phone, I want to attract clients. There was another one that I did that I was talking about, like, why I include conditioning treatments in my services. I had so many clients come in and they go, you know, you never really said that you did that, but I appreciate that you do that. Clients are watching, right? They're enjoying that content. But this is what I would call filler content. This is good when you're like, oh, no, you're not supposed to. But maybe I have something to say. Like, and the one thing about taking a class like this is like, I'm asking you guys to start looking at content with like a different lens. Please study my Instagram page. Because now you're gonna start seeing and picking out to be like, ah, it's like when movies are like ruined for you. Like, I know how they did that edit. I know what happens at the end, right? Sorry, Instagram will be broken. But it makes you really look at the content and be like, okay, now I can understand why a video like that would do really well. Okay? Carousels. So what carousels are is they are basically just a photo album right on your page. Okay? So this is the third pinned content. Okay? So this is the third pinned content. So this is a ChatGPT prompt. On here it says, I can't see, you guys definitely can't see.
Create a luxury minimal Instagram carousel for hairstylists in a neutral salon aesthetic. Make it 6 separate vertical images, size 1080 by 1440. Use elegant fonts, clean layout, soft salon imagery, and mobile-friendly text. The goal is to educate clients while making the brand feel elevated, professional. Slide should cover booking information, consultation required, how to arrive, deposit policy, cancellation policy, call to action to book. Make the slide visually cohesive and Instagram ready.
She's a paid actor. Give her a round of applause. Might as well. I will send you this prompt as well. Chat, spit that out in 30 seconds to me. Is that wild? Now, of course, you have to prompt it with your policies. You have to prompt it with if deposits are required, right? So it's only as good as its prompts. So I go between Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT all the time, and I'm using it to my advantage. There's no way in hell I could get on Canva and make something that looks just as good as that, right? But it makes it so much easier because it just spit it out, and now you have something to post that day, and you have something on your pin. Yes, lovely.
Do you have to pay for ChatGPT to get that stuff?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know why you would have to if you're restarting your cache for the day, but I do pay for chat because I am using it all the time.
After 7 prompts.
After 7 prompts. So make sure that prompt is so good. Which I will send it to you, don't worry. Do you guys like this?
Yes.
This is game changer. Oh, give me a round of applause. By the way, it's great because for the past, 4 years that I think I've been teaching now with Premiere, I usually will do the same class each day. And I said to them, and I was like, let me do a part 1 or part 2. Because there's so many questions like in the Q&A about like content afterwards, and I'm like, because you have to kind of keep things a little bit one-on-one. I'm like, just let me do a master class so we can just like create content, 3-hour. Do you guys like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, should I like pitch them and tell them
Yes.
like a workshop? Okay.
Absolutely.
Is every photo you take with your iPhone, or are you also using another camera as well?
iPhone. So to answer your question, I don't have the camera on me right now, but my goals and my intention is yes to work with brands or to be featured in a magazine or whatever it is, because I have high ambitions for that. So if that is your goal, I would have a good camera, and I'll tell you the name. It's a Sony a5100, okay? That is the camera that I use. I would only have that with the intention of like, damn, this is a really good blonde. Like, I want to make sure that I have a good digital resolution if it were to go somewhere else, okay? So, however, because I'm a blonde specialist and because iPhones can be inadequate at times, right? Especially with color and lighting, a lot of the blondes look very similar, right? Like, spectrumly similar. So if I'm really trying to lean in on tone, or like, because it won't pick up a lot of like rose golds, or sometimes it'll make it look too gold, or it'll pick up like a brassy piece that doesn't exist, right? So sometimes I'll pull out my camera for that specifically, if I want it to be like flawless. So another thing too is, what I noticed was when I was doing things on camera, I wasn't getting it up as fast. And I was like, forget it, I'm just gonna pull out my phone as often as possible. Oh, another thing too. So, lighting, right? We were talking a little bit about lighting. If you have your ring light in front of you and you're doing it on your client, keep in mind, these are called hi-hats. If you have a hi-hat near your ring light, have you ever seen sometimes it'll go yellow and then it'll go cool and go, so you have to get away from the hi-hat because it's picking up on that. That's why. So either, of course, given the consideration, either moving the ring light to where that location is, or turn off the lights real quick. And then that'll help you avoid going in and out of pictures, okay? Any other questions before we move on? Yes, love.
Is that blonde something you did, or is that like where do you draw the line of like using?
That is mine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's mine. So, because on chat I've prompted it so many times, it picked up on things that were already mine. But, I mean, ultimately, I prefer to see, you could even prompt that, right? With this prompt, maybe just put in some of your salon pictures or whatever and see how chat picks it up. Any other questions? Oh, hi.
Have you changed like the resolution settings on your phone other than what's already on them for your videos or your photos?
I have gone back and forth so many times with this, and I'm literally at the point now where I'm kind of at just the standard when it comes to what iPhone is, because, especially video, because what happens is when there's too much of a resolution, like if it's too high, if it's like 4K or whatever, this is a 303 question, okay? So if you don't have good Wi-Fi and you are trying to upload at 4K, Instagram is trying to shrink it down into it where it will almost make your video look blurry. And when Instagram sees a blurry video, they call it demote it, in the algorithm to push it down because they only want higher quality videos coming up. I know. That's how nerdy I am and specific I know. So like, for instance, I just keep it at, I believe it's, I don't even know the resolution. Come find me afterwards and I'll show you my resolution or anyone that else wants to know. Because the highest one, it ain't doing it for me. And sometimes, it actually doesn't make the blend of the hair look that great either when the pixels are too high. So that's what I've noticed. Any other questions? Cool, let's move on. Oh, trial reels. Who asked me this yesterday? You did. Yes, amazing. So we're gonna talk about trial reels. Now, everyone at this point should have this option available to them. So what you're gonna do is, remember we were talking earlier, that's that little toggle where trial reels are? Now, trial reels will actually post that video to anyone who is not your follower. Yes. This is the biggest and best opportunity for growth right now. Behind the chair, with your following, online, anything. It is an open door window for people to know who you are. Because what happens is, let's say, you post something regular, right? It's gonna go out to 80% you're following, maybe 20 not following, right? Well, let's say 60% of that 80, they're already your clients, right? So why are you talking to them? You shouldn't be. If you want more clients, or you're offering a new service, maybe a gel X, a new facial, right? Or new hair extensions, you wanna put that content out as a trial reel to people that don't even know about you yet. That's crazy, right? Now, if you really wanna hack the algorithm, okay? Because I'm all about that. I'm always trying to beat the big man, see what I can do. Do you see on here that comb video? So what I did was, I went into my, that tells me that performs the best. What are they called?
Analytics.
Analytics, thank you. Thank you. You're a girl, you're hired, I need your info. My analytics, and I looked at my past year. That was my best performing video, and it was of course this comb video. Everyone loves it because it's just cool to look at, it's aesthetic. So what I did was, I just started creating remixes with different sayings on that video and putting them all in trial reels. Just to bring people in. Strictly to just bring people in for more visibility of my content. So there's someone here that's 940,000, 2 million, 17K, 12,000K, right? Because I know that video does good. Go to your analytics and watch. You know what's probably gonna be funny is your best performing videos are probably gonna be a picture video of yourself. Always. Vici, I'm suing you. That's okay. That's okay. I sewed this one this morning. Yeah, this is the one I sewed. My sewed one stayed up. That's okay, I'll sew it later. Anyways. Is there a full one? Again?
Yes.
This is a real party now. So, how do I remix content? Okay? I said in the beginning of this class, Instagram does a really good job of trying to help us perform better online. So this is Instagram edits. So this is actually relatively new. Has anyone not played with Instagram edits yet? Not played? Okay, fantastic. Whenever Instagram comes out with something new, they will reward you for using their new things, okay? So if you're using another editing source like CapCut or whatever, that's fine too. But if you are editing in what Instagram owns, you are more susceptible to show up higher on the algorithm or first when someone's going through the feed. Yes, love?
So if you prefer CapCut, for example, what we always do, we just upload whatever we edited in CapCut to Instagram edits, and then
You don't have to edit it in there, but just you uploading it to it and then downloading it again and then posting from there straight to your Instagram. Instagram loves you for it.
So what she's talking about is Instagram social media 303. So what she's saying is she will edit in a different app, upload it to edits, and then push it out from there. Correct? Perfect. Which I do a lot, plenty of times. Because I do prefer a more advanced editing source, which is CapCut, which is the app I use a lot, which TikTok owns. So they never publicly said that they prefer or disprefer, but I do try to always put it into Reels. I'm gonna get your 1 second, but I see you. So with Instagram edits, not only did I upload that one video, now with edits, because I put the font, I just take away the font, change the song, put a different saying from my ChatGPT prompt, post it to trial Reels. How simple is that? Right? Because I have prompts set aside. I'm gonna get to you next too. I have prompts set aside, and it allows me to just have unlimited amounts of content that I'm sending out for trial Reels to get more clients to come in. Right? So what I would recommend though is you cannot upload the same exact video back to back to back because Instagram will take it down. So it can't be the same saying, it can't be the same song, it can't be the exact same video. It has to be a version, a different version. It could be the same video, the same meat of it, but the audio has to be different and the text has to be different. In here also, they have templates on there that you can search as well, but also they have analytics in here. Deeper analytics on your content to see what the attention span is, to see if people are saving it. So what Instagram rates your page on right now is the amount of saves and shares. So we were talking about content yesterday. The number one thing that I always try to think in my head is shareability and relatability. That's the type of content. So like for instance, if I had something that said, I had a wet brush video yesterday, and it was showing that basically you need a new wet brush. Hairstylists are like, oh my God, I've been telling everybody forever they need a new wet brush. This is amazing. And then the next person's like, oh my God, Sarah's wet brush is disgusting. I'm sending this off to her, right? That's what creates shareability and relatability for your content, okay? And then, yes, love.
Is the constantly downloading and uploading, does that ruin the quality?
So because it lives on the Instagram Edits app, you won't have to keep uploading or not at all, because they own that proprietary, and they have it systematically that it would be sending off. So it's not going to mess up the quality or anything like that. I'm going to get to you, and then I'll get to you.
So the trial reels are set on your profile just like a regular reel?
Yes, I think I have. So where you would see your trial reels, think of your main profile page. You know how you can select reels to see like your numbers and stuff? The first one, it'll say trial reels. And that's where the trial reels live.
Okay.
Is that your question?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yes, love.
For the trial reels, how you were saying, like you just upload like the same video that's different, does that all show up in your main profile too?
No.
Okay, because I don't want like the same video again.
No, correct. However, thank you for bringing that up. So you'll actually get a notification from Instagram to be like, hey, your trial reels are doing really well. Would you like to post it to your main feed? So thank you for bringing that up. Which, honestly, like, there's not a lot of times that I would post it to my main feed because the whole purpose for me to put it on trial reels was to attract people that are not my audience. You know what I mean? So like, sure, why not? But also, don't take my word for it. Like, test it. Like, if you have one that's doing really well, you're like, oh, let me see how much better this can do by opening up to my audience, because today, I'd like this to have good numbers, right? That's my goal, is for this video to have good numbers, because maybe I want to work for a brand, right? That's why I would open it up. Yes, love?
Do you use a different type of, or do you make a different type of content for the trial reel? Or would you make something similar that you would use for your goals?
So, based on your goals, right? I would say, okay, why would I use trial reels, right? It's most likely to have people find me that don't already know me. right? So that may be a good time where you're like, okay, this has been sitting in trial reels for a week. Now I'll open it up to my audience, right? And then it will live on your feed ultimately for your audience to experience it as well, or for them to be scrolling and stopping. So you can and you can't. Again, test. Yes, love.
So sorry, can you, make or post them, say at the same time? One for your trial reel and one for your main audience?
So Instagram sometimes will not allow you to do that. If they'll see it's on the trial reel and they'll be like, okay, I'm seeing you're posting it to your field, like this is doubling up content. So don't do that. Don't post them like at the same time. Unless that one video is like edited a little bit, they may not catch it. But if your intention is to post it on your feed, let it live on trial reels, and then maybe a few days later post it to your main grid. Great questions, by the way. Any other?
After being in the trial, and then you post it as a reel, normal reel, it's like a button to transfer to the reel, or I have to completely download it again?
No, it'll literally push it right there. If there's a button on it, I'm sorry I don't have it on here, but there's a button right there. Just say like post to main feed, and it's just like that. It's simultaneously.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then basically the trial is going to show the videos to people that doesn't follow you, or how does it really work?
So it'll still, because it was in trial reels, it's gonna literally, it's almost as if you organically live reposted a video.
Okay.
So it's gonna probably stop that motion of it being a trial reel and opening it up to other people, and it'll probably just open up to your audience.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes, sir. And then I'll take you.
Will it still give you the option even if it didn't do well, or does it have to have a certain number?
Nope, you can, even if it doesn't do well, you can even post to your feed if it doesn't do well. Yes, love, I saw you over here.
What would cause you not having the option about?
Say it again.
I can't find it.
Okay, so I don't have a picture of it, but go to your profile. So you know where the section is where you can look only at reels? Do you see an option for trial reels yet? If you don't, it's because you've never posted one. So, okay, so when you go and actually post a trial reel, that's where it'll exist.